Grease lightning, burning of a quarter mile. Grease lightning, go grease lightning. Do 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 do. I get the money. I kill to get the money. Excuse me. Oh yeah. Let's just let's sing Grease songs. Hey Steve, first one in. Let's sing Grease songs all day. Why? What's the matter, Lex? Is everything going okay with the COVID recovery? Hopefully. Sasuke's in, and Wolverine, Quadro, Little Dookie Stain, Timothy, I can't keep up. Empire Jeff, XD, Jack Peaceful, Seth, Bakes Gun, Jorge, George, Willie, Millie, Wolf, Krusty Bomb. Yeah, the gang's here. Oh, XD, not anything major. Just I always feel a little bit the days when I just got to fix my webcam here. When Spaz Kid goes back to school after he's been home for a while. It's just kind of sad. I really enjoy having him around. All right, let me fix that. Okay, got that fixed. Aiden, watching in school again, are you? Aiden watching in school. One of these days we'll get put on another whiteboard. See if we can get somebody else in trouble at school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the sad side, Chrome. Like I was just telling the gang, the days that well, he went back yesterday. When Spaz Kid goes back to college after he's been home for extended periods, it just, I don't know, it just always makes me feel kind of sad. There's, looking over, where am I here? I can't see my monitor. Looking over here and seeing his chair empty all day sucks. Johnny says, R.I.P. to Hammer and Hank, an absolute legend, in my opinion, best ever pick up a bat. Great character, great work ethic, and a moral example setter. Just not a phenomenal human being. Yeah, I'll never forget when I was a kid, when he was chasing the 715. He didn't see many baseball games back then on TV, just 1-2 a week. And they had a special broadcast the one night, because he was at 714, to let everybody watch a game just in case he did it, and he hit it on that night with all the pressure and everything. I remember that distinctly. My parents let me stay up so I could watch it because I was a baseball freak. Yeah, Filthmonger says Bills lost last night. Very sad day. Yeah, they didn't play well. I honestly thought they had a real legitimate chance of knocking off Kansas City, but yikes, that was bad. It's your Friday, Timothy? Oh, that's cool. So you get Tuesdays and Wednesdays off?
Yeah.
That's cool. Any day that is a Friday or is a takes the place of a Friday or presents itself with any Friday with any Friday elements to it is always good. Johnny says, I'm sad today because my Packers lost while looking like a high school football team. Johnny, what the fuck? I said it at the time. There's no hindsight. What the fuck was he thinking kicking that field goal? You don't kick a field goal there. It's Tom fucking Brady on the other side. Do you think he's not going to get a first down or two? Jeez, that was a horrible call. Terrible call. Took the ball right out of Rodgers' hands. Dragon says, I'm curious, have you ever heard the name Phil Mushnick? If so, what is your opinion of him? Yeah, Mushnick is a sports writer, isn't he, Dragon? I'd have to place him. I think I remember him as a sports writer, but I can't really comment because I can't place exactly who he is. Looks like we got what the cool kids call depression, like says. And again, I don't want to overstate it. I wouldn't say I'm like depressed or anything. It's just a down day. Whenever I have to readjust to him not being in the house, it just is kind of a blah day. Oh, I know. Jeff said the Browns had the Chiefs beat. All they do is score. I know. I thought they were going to win that game. Especially once Mahomes went out, it's like, okay, they got this. I was really, really surprised. As if Rodgers wouldn't give you a chance either. Well, that's what I mean, Johnny. I mean, I was just stunned. That is the second worst postseason call I can ever remember seeing be made, other than Pete Carroll having Russell Wilson throw the ball on first and goal from the 1 in the Super Bowl. Outside of that was the worst coaching call I can remember seeing. in the playoffs. Sports makes more men cry than women, and they're vicious. Oh, Jack, yeah, there were. I have a lot of friends who are Bills fans. I have a couple friends who are Packers fans, for that matter, and there's not a lot of joy in Mudville today for them. I was fortunate in the respect that when my Irish got a beating from Alabama, I expected it. It doesn't make it fun, but that game went almost exactly how I figured it would. I was pleased that they stayed with them. I was pleased they held them to 31 points, which for Bama, that's actually holding them down. But I wasn't surprised by it. So, as a Cleveland native, I must say I'm proud. Kenny says, "Yeah, I just, boy, Kenny, that was an opportunity for them. I was really kind of disappointed they didn't take advantage of that and get Casey out of there." Who says at least she'll get better internet now that he's no longer taking up the bandwidth downloading all that midget porn. I know, and Lou, you would think if it was midget porn, it wouldn't take up as much bandwidth. Get it? Because it's like midgets. That's funny. Senor Water Fighter says, I like cheese. I do not. I don't like cheese. Nope, not even a little. Jack doesn't know what you're saying. He doesn't speak cheeseburger ball. Alex says, when your Irish got a beating, euphemism? Not intentionally, but could be, sure. Sad streams at the time of the month already? Yes. My nosebleed is due any moment now.
Oh, yeah.
That's twist. That's sick. Dragon says, Mushnick did a lot of anti-wrestling articles, including exploiting Pillman's death to call for a ban of wrestling. Oh, all right. I remember him, Dragon. Yeah, he was a sensationalist. Yeah, I knew that name. Yeah, I know who you mean, Dragon. Yeah, it got him a lot of attention. That's all it was. Unfortunately, with a lot of media, whether it's sports or news or whatever, it's not so much about presenting sides of stories evenly or anything. It's about getting clicks. And the same with true in sports writing. Yeah, I remember him now. Yeah. Chrome says, hey, at least Spaz Kid isn't that far away and you always have vid chat. Oh yeah. Yeah, like I say, I don't want to give you guys the impression that I'm like in incurable depression or something. Just kind of a sad day when I come in here and start doing the videos and everything, and I know he's not going to come popping in at any point. Jay says, I'm a Packers fan. That pass interference flag in the fourth was on an uncatchable ball before he tripped himself. I don't know if I agree with you on that one, Jace. My big problem with the Packers was the coaching decision. The problem I have with that is he clearly grabbed his jersey. I mean, you can't miss that. He had his jersey stretched for a yard. You don't know how much pull he got on that. So was the ball still uncatchable? I don't understand why he even grabbed hold of him. In that situation, that's the one thing you can't do is commit that penalty because that's an automatic first down. You're better off to get beat because the game is over if you grab the jersey. At least, even if you're getting beat, if you don't commit the penalty, there's a chance, like you say, he could overthrow him. He could drop the pass. It could be an errant throw. But grabbing the jersey, and that's the one they're always going to call. When you see the jersey get stretched, that they're going to get that every time. Colin says, not all berries are safe to eat. Very true. Very true. We got a lot of them up here that'll do creepy, weird things to you if you eat them. And not the creepy, weird things that we all tend to enjoy. Money Morse, as I said earlier, the Chiefs are going to repeat, and it's the last thing I want. Boy, they looked tough yesterday. I mean, Tampa Bay does have a really good defense, but man, Chiefs got so many weapons. Barry says cheese is only for communists. Anyone in here likes cheese is communist. I don't make the Communist Manifesto rules, just enforce them. I didn't even know communists. I didn't even know communists were that into cheese. Explains a lot, though. It's amazing how much I hate cheese, except on pizza. I can't even explain that. That's just bizarre to me. But man, I would eat pizza every goddamn day. And not cheese on anything else that I can think of. I was so pissed the other day. Brax and I had to go somewhere. I don't remember, but we had to get food quick, so we just brought McDonald's home for everybody. fuckers put cheese on the burger again. If I can't find anybody to eat it, I throw that shit out because I can't. Even if you scrape it off, just the residue of that American cheese on there, I can't do it. It'll make me puke. Christian says, I told you a while ago that Buffalo always chokes. Yeah, but again, you can say that about a lot of different sports teams, a lot of different situations, but every situation is always going to be different. I don't even think they choked as much. They were just simply overmatched. Right now, Buffalo, and you saw it, there's too much of a talent disparity, particularly because Buffalo's secondary is skilled but really small. And when your secondary is little guys, you're not stopping Travis Kelce. Lachlan says, pork is in the oven, so I have 15 to 20 minutes to get freaky. So strip, bald man. Oh, having some pork, Lachlan? We had, my wife made sauce over the weekend because that's what Spaz Kid wanted before he went back to school. And she always puts, excuse me, sorry guys, puts pork in the sauce. It's always so good too because, I mean, you know, when it's cooked in the sauce, it gets so soft and moist and just falls apart. And, let's give me a food boner. Yeah. Money Moore says, I'm a Broncos fan. I've experienced the fury of Mahomes firsthand many, many times. Yeah, you have. Yes, you have. Idi Amin says, Dear Comrade Curtis, I have news that fucking Papa Jonathan stole my car and drove it into the White Nile. Fuck you, Papa Jonathans. God damn it, Papa Jonathans. Why can't you leave poor Idi Amin Dada alone? Fuck's the problem here? DJ says, I don't like Brady one bit, and I admit he's one of the best, but I don't like him at all, and I don't think he needs any more rings. He should just retire and let the younger guys have more fame. Well, there's two sides to that, DJ. I'm not a Brady hater and not a Brady fan. It's right in the middle of the road for me. But the way you have to look at that, though, if he takes the Buccaneers to the Super Bowl and wins, he just helped get a lot of fame for everybody on that team. I mean, you have to look at it from that perspective too, because to be honest with you, even though he didn't play particularly well yesterday, when plays had to be made, just like Brady always does, he made them. So I don't think the Bucs are in the same spot if Brady's not there. So it depends on which players you're talking about. You know, because of all the only quarterback involved in this that hasn't won a Super Bowl before was Josh Allen.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, Rodgers has one. Brady's got 27 of them or so. And who am I forgetting? Who else was in there? Rodgers, Brady. Oh, my gosh. Allen. And Mahomes. And Mahomes has one. So, again, as far as the quarterback position, unless it was the Bills, it wasn't going to be something new for anyone else anyway. Barry says, I'm the safe berries to eat here, so bite me. Well played. Oh, really? Christian says, Cell from DBCA is voiced by a Curtis, but with hair. The majority of Curtises seem to have hair. Something just happened along the way for me. It's amazing though, even at my age. If I let this grow for a few days, I can't stand it how thick it already comes in. I know a lot of guys like to have that. It annoys me. Johnny says, how about the DC not calling a zone on the last play of the first half? What the hell there? Like the Bucs didn't have time for a field goal, so why play man? Just bad, terrible, absolutely horrible, Johnny. I have no answer for that. The only thing you can't do is give up a touchdown because the clock's going to run out on anything else. And you put the fastest guy on the field, you cover him one-on-one. I have no clue, Johnny. No idea. And then you're playing man and don't even give any, like I say, any safety support against the fastest receiver on the field. No idea. That a buddy of mine was over and we were watching the games together. He's a big Bills fan. We were watching the games together and I was telling him, yesterday was among the worst overall days of coaching decisions I've ever seen in the playoffs. There were stupid calls left and right. But yeah, you are correct. That was terrible. Terrible. The only thing that beats you is a long touchdown throw. So try and make a cornerback who is clearly not as fast as the receiver cover him one-on-one. You're the rare bald variant of Curtis. You're kind of a collector's item, Wick says. I like that, being a collector's item. A retro collector's item at that, because I'm a really old one, too. Wood says, I'm still voting for Curtis growing out his hair for 300K subs. Yeah, like I said, the only thing that always got me about that is an idea for, whatever, a milestone or something like that. The only reason I never got into it is because it's such a long process. To me, when you're having a milestone celebration, you want something big that you can celebrate right in the moment. Not a celebration, I mean, to me anyway, not a celebration where it's like, all right, I'm going to grow my hair out. Here we go. Defensive coordinator and special teams coordinator are getting fired for sure. I wouldn't be surprised, Johnny. I mean, that's just, again, it's inexcusable. I don't even know what kind of case you make for that. That's just, it's not us being wise guys or Monday morning quarterbacks. It's just basic football. It's, nothing we thought up. It's just what we've observed for all the years, what the effective strategy is in that situation. Back to last week's conversation, Dragon says, would it be accurate to call Vince Russo a tragic backstory? Yes, I would call Vince Russo I'm not a Vince, you guys know that, I'm not a Vince Russo fan. Link says, foreskin reviewer, yes, the great game of sports ball. I too enjoy muscle men interacting with a sphere. The Tiki says the Bills still have a bright future. I agree with that. They haven't been in this position in a long time. Yeah, mid-90s, Tiki, yeah. No, I agree. They're in a good spot. Josh Allen certainly had a turnaround year this year. Night and day from what he'd been the last couple of years. So, yeah, the future's bright. Again, they have a good secondary. They got to get a little bigger in the secondary so every tight end in the league doesn't just destroy them. And I think they need a little more pass rush, too. Yeldon looked pretty good yesterday. They might be okay in the backfield. But, yeah, I agree. They'll be around for a while. Philip says Calvin Ball. Good old Calvin Ball. Let's see. Lick says, well, this either grow your hair out or leak your nude. Your choice. One would cause, I would assume, a lot less revulsion and spewing of vomit than the other. But my news would be bad too. Brian says, being a Russo fan is like being a fan of broccoli. Just doesn't make sense, and it would just leave a horrible taste in your mouth. Yeah, I never liked the guy. Never liked the guy. Chrome says, two big burly men grunting covered in sweat over a ball. What's not to like? Well, that's why, I'm into football. Well, I was a professional wrestler for all those years. Hey, Spaz Kid! He says, that Braxton kid is dumb. Spaz Kid is where it's at. Good to see you, pal. I hope everything went in good with the move yesterday. He had to, as you guys can well imagine, throughout the country, I'm sure throughout the world, there aren't nearly as many kids attending college now, so attendance at his school is way down, and Brax is an RA, so because of that, they had to readjust where the RAs are stationed, so he had to move all his crap from one building to another yesterday when he got in, and because of COVID, they're not letting anybody else on campus, so I couldn't even go give him a hand. I like broccoli, Amen says, especially with cheese. So does my wife, Amen. She likes a lot of things. Well, I was going to say she likes a lot of things that make me rich, but that's because my tastes are so limited. She likes broccoli, and I told you she likes pineapple on pizza. Kyle says, I hope Brady breaks his leg before the game. I despise cheaters. Yikes. Yeah, that's hardcore. Philip says, the electric blanket really needs to start working. My feet are freezing. It's cold as shit here today, Philip, where we are too. Well put. Spaz Kid says, Spaz Kid is the Chad online persona. Braxton is the real world neat. Who's my favorite wrestler? Vegeta the Boss asks. Well, it would go back to my day when I was a kid was Bruno Sammartino, so he'd still be my favorite of all time.
Oh,
Dragon says Cornette
yeah.
described Russo perfectly. The Archbishop of Talent of Talent Berry asked Doctor Death. Yeah, Russo couldn't book. Russo wasn't worth anything. Didn't he once book himself to become champion or some shit too? I mean, just ridiculous, stupid things. I did, Ryan. I just read about that. He said, "Did you hear about the WWE Network deal with Peacock? NBC now owns the streaming rights. If you don't mind ads, you can get it for $4.99 or just stuck with the $9.99. Yeah, I did hear about that. For any of you who don't know what Brian's talking about, is basically what he just said. That Peacock streaming network is going to have all the rights to the WWE streaming stuff. So the WWE network will be no more. All the streaming rights will be over there. Excuse me. Tristan says you're going to watch the Guy Fieri Meat Canyon cartoon. Also, one thing I love about your vids when you laugh so hard, I have to pause the vid, makes me laugh pretty hard as well. Thanks. Yeah, I'm going to eventually watch all Meat's vids. I love Meat Canyon. I just think he's freaking brilliant. So goddamn funny. So twisted. Idi Amin says WWE is a good promotion, but indie wrestling is where it's at. You're not going to get an argument from me as somebody who spent 30 years in the indies. I'm certainly not going to argue that. I know it's a fun experience because you don't get to see necessarily all the big names, but you go to an indie show and you can be right up there and part of the action, really. You're right involved with everything. That kind of makes it neat. Milog says you should grow your hair out in honor of those that can't. By the time I'm your age, I'll probably be naturally bald because right now I've got Vegeta's hairline. Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple friends over the years who get so annoyed by the fact that I've been shaving my head for so long, and I shave it because my hair comes in too thick. Because like my one buddy, Gary, I told you guys about him. He started losing his hair in high school, and it's like his hair was like a really big deal to him. So it drives him insane that I shave my head. Lute says, is WWE still holding matches in an empty space in front of a bunch of green screens? Yeah, that's all they got is just, putting in people's cams. That's all they have right now, Lute, for audience. Philip says, fuck, I've got the blanket warm and now I have to piss. No TikTok yet for me, Juju? No, I'm not looking to start any more forms of social media just because I don't have enough time in the day to properly maintain all the ones I have now. So Bada says, I hope Mahomes breaks his legs. What the hell? You guys are freaking violent today. I hate overrated soy boys that wouldn't be shit with their 7-foot tall tight end. I wouldn't say that. He's pretty fucking talented, but wow, you guys are rough. A-Man says asparagus is really good. Oof. Especially if you back them, drizzle them in oil and sprinkle some salt and pepper. Oh no, I can't do it, A-Man. Well, me and veggies anyway. We just don't get along. We don't see eye to eye at all. Dragon says one of Russo's biggest failures was the brawl for all. What were they thinking? That was stupid. Yeah, that was special they did on that. I don't even remember. You guys remember better than I did. Where I watched it, if it was on Netflix or WWE or wherever, they did that special on the brawl for all. that was it was really fun to watch, and it seems like pretty much everybody involved has come to realize what a dumb fucking idea that was. Oh, Draken says asparagus piss ruined my marriage. I could understand that. Yeah, I could understand that clearing out a room or clearing out a marriage. Yeah, I get you. Back to yeah, you did say back to me, man. Pork is ready, so gotta go, guys. Okay, Lachlan, thanks for being there while you could, pal. Enjoy the pork. like I said, my wife put in the sauce. I enjoyed it over the weekend there. Oh, the meat she puts in that sauce, because she always puts in meatballs, sausage, and pork. And of course, my wife is the classic old Italian grandma, and oh, that sauce is just so fucking good. Delaware, it says violence is never the answer, but sometimes it's the question, and the answer is yes. That's kind of well put. I like that, Delaware. I've never believed that. I've always said that's a pie in the sky thing anyway. Violence is never the answer. Well, yeah, sometimes it is. I
Oh,
mean, we may not like
yeah.
it, but sometimes it is. I don't think Hitler was ever going to have been stopped by rainbows and sunflowers. Sometimes violence is the only answer. uh the Golden TNT says, "Can you play Plants vs Zombies?" I can. I'm not going to. I have no interest in the game, and when I get back to the gaming channel, which will hopefully be very shortly, we're going to pick up where we left off on the games we're on now. Marshall says, "Do you think Floyd Mayweather is a great boxer?" Well, of course. I think he's kind of a pain in the ass as a person, but he's a brilliant fighter. I mean, just he's one of the, if not the fastest fighter I've ever seen, and his defensive strategies are just insane. Lick says, "It's like garnishing a shit with more shit and expecting to taste it any different." Oh, Jesus Christ, I didn't see that, Chrome. She says, "So did you see that Twitter's just admitted that they're now going to fact check humor and satire? So now we're going to check modes of entertainment that are designed to be non-factual. How often is satire actually 100% factual down the line? And obviously, some of the greatest jokes, some of the best humor is based in absurdity. I if there's one outfit, company, organization in the world that I would root for their demise, it would be Twitter's. I despise Twitter. Dark Side of the Ring. Yeah, you're right, Dragon. Yep, Dark Side of the Ring, that series. Yeah, that was good. That whole thing on the Brawl for All was good. Now, again, it was such a terrible idea. Nice. Wimatoad says, "I think I'm going to
Oh,
name my firstborn child
yeah.
Curtis the Almighty." I like that. That kid will have a big leg up on life no matter where he goes and what he does. Wait, we don't know. Even if it's a girl, she's gonna have a big leg up on life no matter where she goes, what she does. Marshall says, "Does the pile driver hurt like hell?" Sure as hell better not, because if it hurts like hell, they fucked it up on you. I've had pile drivers that hurt and they weren't done right. If you protect somebody with a pile driver, no, it doesn't hurt. Because if they've positioned you properly and they got you held up high enough and they make sure that their legs meet the canvas, so your head may touch, but there's no real impact. No. Is it a dangerous move? Extremely. Ask Stone Cold, because that's why his career got cut short, because Owen fucked up a pile driver on him. They're extremely dangerous, but if done properly, they're a piece of cake bump to take. Smithy says, "The sandwich tastes better when you don't make it." Maybe that's why Grandma's cooking is amazing. Nah, hers is. Mine just sucks. Damn it! How'd she do it? I see. That's the thing with me, Smith. It amazes me that I'm a horrible cook, horrible food prep. Period. And the thing is, my wife can go out and do something via a recipe, and it tastes delicious. And I'll go out and I get the
Oh,
same goddamn
yeah.
instructions and the same ingredients in front of me, and I do everything it says on the paper, and it still comes out tasting like shit. I don't understand why. I've given up. I don't even try and cook it. It's just amazing to me how bad it is. Excuse me. Das Brot says, "I do save animals, help people to find a place to relax, and teach children chess, but I'm still the most toxic human being I know." Wow. Dragon says, "Russo wonders why Cornette legitimately wants to murder him. I can think of quite a few reasons." Yeah, Cornette's over the top, too. We all know that, but Cornette is, like him or hate him,
Oh,
he is a wrestling man through and
yeah.
through. He loves that business, and he has some of the greatest stories of anybody I've ever known in the business. And that's just because of his respect for the business is reason enough to understand why he would hate Russo. Kev says, "Hey Curtis, just want to know if you were going to check out AOT season 4 soon. When the season is completed, then I'll be picking it back up at the Goose. That's where all the reactions are to it now, and that's where we'll be continuing it. I can't wait to see what's on the other side of the water." Let's see. Johnny says Tyson Fury versus Paul, who would Jake Paul? Yeah, I is Jake's not stupid enough to actually take that fight, is he? It would just be, it would be a case of will Paul still be alive afterwards? Can he get on the ground quickly enough that he doesn't get killed? Uh, Philip says, you know how some people have a green thumb, some people have the opposite of that when it comes to cooking. And the thing is, Philip, I have again no cooking skills and a black thumb. I can't get plants to stay alive either. I think I might be just an angel of death. I think angel's a bad word. I think I might just be death. Krusty Bomb says, why was Jesus screaming from the cross? Because he was getting nailed by dudes. Oh, Krusty. Chrome says, isn't AOT's final season going to be split in half? So it'll probably be a while. I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that, Chrome. I didn't know they weren't just going, straight through with the season. Oh, that sucks. Good point, Jack. He says, you lost me at Jake's not stupid enough. That's true. I underestimated him. He's clearly stupid enough. Fill in the blank with whatever. He's stupid enough. Yeah, good point. Wimatode says, Sir Curtis the Grand, have you watched The Boys? If not, I hereby recommend it to you. Watch it if you wish. We're watching it. As a matter of fact, that's going to be coming up this week. It's sponsored. It's a sponsored series over at the Goosh. So I will be watching the next episode sometime this week. It'll get posted. Lute says, I'm so glad that Twitter's next focus, instead of working to improve their guidelines, to improve all the child porn on their goddamn platform. Yeah, Lute. Yeah, you're 100% right. Instead of worrying about things like child porn on the platform, let's worry about if when a comedian tells a joke, if it's factually accurate or not. Twitter is garbage. It's absolute pure garbage. I mean, it brings out the worst people out there. Willie says, can't wait to be G100 next month. It might be the original recipe Coke in my system, but I'm super excited. I like that. Yeah, original recipe Coke will get you jacked up a little bit. Yeah. That's right. Yes. Did you see the fight between Connor and Dustin? Yeah, I did. Was a little surprised. I was surprised. I mean, not that I didn't think the fight could go either way. I just that was a violent knockout Poirier laid on him. Yeah, it was a good fight though. Edie Mean says, here's a question for you, Curtis. During your time as an indie wrestler, and out of all the moves you've been the victim to, which one, in your opinion, was the most dangerous? Well, for potential danger, you don't get much worse than a pile driver. Because again, if you do a pile driver wrong, you're talking about sitting in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. There are other things similar. But even stuff like when we would do tables or different things like that, there was a significant amount of risk, but pile drivers are about as scary as it gets. Now, the thing of it is, if a move isn't done properly, though, most of the moves in wrestling can be really dangerous. Hell, you can be dangerous with a clothesline if you don't do it properly. So, I guess as far as potential, it's hard to say, because if everything's done right, you'll survive anything. Certain moves, even when done right, are going to hurt more than others, but that's the difference between being hurt and being injured. So, again, there's risk in everything, but pile drivers certainly represent a clear and present danger. Jack says everyone should get jacked up. Who wants to get jacked up first? We'll begin immediately. No, no take backsies. Oh, oh, that's horrible, Wimito, and I love horrible jokes. The first time that I went in an elevator, I got high. The second time, I came down. um, Idi Amin says, "What about the running power bomb that D'Lo Brown botched and ended up paralyzing Draws?" Right, and that's a perfect example about what I'm talking about. Idi Amin, any move can be dangerous. Hell, a body slam can be dangerous. Something as simple as that. If you don't, you go to body slam someone, don't get them all the way over and put them on their neck, you'll end up the same thing that happened to Draws. So any move can be dangerous if not done well. Power bombs are typically fairly easy. I mean, relatively speaking, because if the guy's in sync with you, he's going to get himself turned all the way around. And then once the guy delivering the power bomb has you in position, it's just a matter of making sure you lay flat. But yeah, as I said, something as simple as a clothesline can be wildly dangerous if you don't do it right. Johnny says Corny is one of the best managers and bookers of all time, while Russo is nothing. I would agree with that. Yep. Dragon says, when it comes to wrestling, I always cringe when I see apron bumps. They can hurt too, because you know what it is with the goddamn apron bumps. There's just not enough room for big boys on the apron, so you're always taking them obviously at a little bit of an angle. They're always banging up your ribs. You always had with apron bumps, you always end up all bruised to shit on your back, or getting the wind knocked out of you. Yeah, apron bumps are a pain in the ass because again, there's just not enough to work with out there. I love video games, Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Marshall says, do you think Japanese wrestling is dangerous? As I said, all wrestling is dangerous because the Japanese, especially back in the day, like to do the real crazy shit. So it was more dangerous. I mean, back in the day, it was over in Japan when Mick Foley and Terry Funk would have the matches with actual explosives planted throughout the ring, and the barbed wire for ropes matches and stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. Oink says, not interested in getting jacked up. I'm more of a jacked off kind of guy. Philip says, speaking of wrestling, we've definitely got to get Curtis to play Yakuza 0. I want to see his reaction to Mr. Libido. I've heard the Yakuza series is supposed to be really, really good. I've never played any of it, but I've heard about it and read about it. Wendigo says, once this fucking lockdown is over, I'm definitely going to try and get into wrestling, mostly for fun. It's a tough business, pal. It's really, really tough. I mean, it's got to be something you really enjoy, because even when everything goes perfectly in a wrestling match, it hurts. It hurts all the time. Your body's never not in pain. I mean, just think about the basic concept of taking a bump. Taking a bump is the act of throwing yourself from a standing position onto your back. Those mats, those rings are extremely unforgiving. It's 2x12s, 2x8 planks with a very, very thin mat, typically like a amateur style wrestling mat, and a canvas. And you're going to, in the course of a decent length match, you're going to take at least, 25, 30 bumps? That's 25, 30 times of just throwing your body backwards and landing on your back. It beats you up constantly. Constantly. Chrome says, okay, I'm just reading some news at the moment, and it's just one crazy, stupid thing after another. Right now, Disney Plus is age-restricting Peter Pan, Dumbo, and the Aristocrats to age 7+ for racism. We all know what it is. Right now, it's just always a contest of who can be the most woke. That's all stuff like that is. It's Disney going, look at us. Look how responsible and woke we are. Aside from that, what kills me is they want to age restrict and limit the viewing of things that are just historical in nature. I mean, throughout the history of the world, and certainly this country, there's a lot of things that have been heinous. Racism among the tops, among them. But trying to keep people basically from learning history, and you see it all the time. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. Roar says, Curtis, your vids are fucking dope. Well, thanks, Roar. I appreciate that. Lick says Peter Pan had racist stuff in it. I was trying to remember too, Licks. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the pirates? Hook hands? I have no idea. I was trying to remember what it is too, but people, the thing of it is, we know that there's a big part of society nowadays that gets their rocks off looking for things to be offended by. And if you look hard enough, you can make up something in anything, pretty much. Despite Disney himself as a possible white supremacist, Amy says, well, he's definitely seemed to be an anti-Semite at the very least. Andrew says, Curtis, what is the most ridiculous wrestling gimmick you've ever seen? For me, it has to be a toss-up between Doink Dink and Hornswoggle. Oh, there's some bad ones. Remember Duke the Dumpster Drozy? Or Isaac Yankum DDS, the gimmick they gave Glenn Jacobs long before Kane. Doink at least was fun for a while. I would think those are even worse. What about the Repo Man? Oh, the Native American portrayal in Peter Pan? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know. Again, it's just, that's what we have in society now. We have a contest to see who can be the most offended and, see who can score the most points in their echo chambers by discovering new things by which to be offended. Johnny says, it wouldn't piss me off so much if these companies were being real about it, but their wokeness drips with insincerity. I couldn't agree more, Johnny. I absolutely couldn't agree more. Again, it's wokeness for the sake of wokeness, just to say, hey, look at us. You got to love us now. We found that you didn't even realize that this was bad until we just told you. Yeah, I agree. I don't know about that, Chrome. She says, no, the anti-Semite thing with Disney was a myth spread by people who wanted his company. In the stuff I've read, because I'm a Disney nut, read over the years and heard interviews with people, again, as I told you guys before when we talked about it, I'm not going to sit here and state categorically that Walt Disney was an anti-Semite. But from what I've taken in from a lot of people who knew the man, I would disagree. I think, I personally believe, and again, this is just my belief, from what I've heard, read, seen, I kind of think he wasn't a big fan of the Jews. My day's been good, Savion. Other than missing Spaz Kid being around, my day's been good. Willie says, what's the worst part about eating fruits? The people who call you a homophobic cannibal. Oh, jeez, Willie. Oh. Colin says, just got here. Why is it titled Side Street? Oh, no, I'm fine. It's just, as I told the gang early on, just Brax went back to college yesterday. When he first goes back to school, I always have kind of a down day afterwards, just when he's not around here anymore. Philip says, in Dumbo, it was the jive-talking crows, and the Aristocats had a Siamese cat that was a Chinaman stereotype. Then there's the cat that was supposed to be Louis Armstrong. I don't know what to tell you guys. You can't, it's just, it's satires. That's all it is. The jive talking crows. I just, maybe I don't look deeply into things enough, but a jive talking crow never in any way, shape, or form in any world would make me look at any group of people any differently, nor would I think to relate that. Dragon says, despite how bad the gimmick was, I was surprised that Eugene got over the extent that he did. Oh, yeah, remember Eugene? Yeah, he was a decent worker, too. He was a pretty good wrestler. Yeah, I enjoyed watching Eugene work. It didn't last long, but he got him over for a little while. Downlord says, it's not gay if the tips don't touch. Oh, Prostitute Mickey Savian? Yeah, that's Prostitute Mickey series was freaking hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Time Link says, Disney is woke and want to protect the children, but made a parent take Spider-Man off a child's gravestone. Yeah. And Disney, too. Disney is, at least to my knowledge, the most litigious company I've ever seen. They will sue you over anything. That's a perfect example. It's just, it's almost sad in some ways because we are such big Disney nuts. But even so, it's not like I'm blind to the real warts that company has, and there's a lot of them. Idi Amin says, I'm very sure they named the main crow in Dumbo Jim Crow, which was the nickname of segregation laws in the South. What was there a name for the crows? I don't remember that. It's been years since I saw the live action Dumbo, but not the original in years. Let's see. God, that grave story really pissed me off. I'm just lost it. Oh, okay. That was talking about there. You guys were talking about something that I missed. Actually, I gotta head out, guys. I apologize for the stream being so short today, but I got it started really late. I had a ton of stuff to catch up on today. Hopefully, I'll get back to. Oh, and while I got several of you mods here, I think the next gaming stream we're gonna do, I think I'll do here. And if you mods wouldn't mind while we're gaming, would you guys just throw up in the chat every so often a reminder to everybody that if they want to see gaming in the future to go over to the gaming channel? Because I still haven't, it's so hard because Susan doesn't send out notifications. So I still haven't really gotten a good number of people to know that that's where everything's moving, because I want to do Among Us and stuff like that, but I want to have enough people there to start filling Among Us games and everything. So the next gaming stream I'll do here, but we'll devote a significant amount of the time while I'm playing to, it'll be New Vegas. We'll devote a significant amount of time while I'm playing to try and tell people to go subscribe to the gaming channel to see the future gaming videos. Loot says, sure. The crow was named Jim? I didn't remember that, Chrome. I didn't remember that. That's kind of fucked up. Jim Crow, yeah. Big Green says, sure. I appreciate that, guys. I figure that's probably our best bet, because we can't count on Susan at all. So we'll just, maybe even every so often we'll rotate through and have a gaming stream here until we get things going good over there. Jack Queen says, sure, me and BG were doing that last time constantly. People can't read. Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate that, guys. It does. It helps me out a lot, because I was just trying to think of the best way to do it, and setting up the live stream and then the simulcast of the stream is a big pain in the ass, and there's always technical glitches. So I had thought of that, and like, geez, I'm sure the mods probably wouldn't mind just telling people where to go. You guys get to tell people where to go. Guys, thank you for the stream. It does, again, streams like this do pick me right up. Well, the streams always pick me up. The way I feel now is just 1,000 times more up than I did coming into it. And I appreciate that from you guys. So even though it's Monday sticky stuff, it's infused with newfound excitement for the day, because I just feel better today. So this is Monday sticky stuff, which is too like, but it just got infused. And take the word infused in that instance to be a euphemism for whatever you want it to be. Here it comes. It's Monday sticky stuff, but it's infused. And it's pump pump. Sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you. Do you feel that infusion? Oh, you're feeling it. Because we'll bang, okay? Flashily like Buggy. And as always, most importantly, it's always infused. Goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh.